Hi, my name is Matt Gooch, and I'm the Vice President of Product and Innovation here at Superfeet. And I am grateful to have the opportunity today to talk to you a little bit about a couple of things. The first of those is going to be some exciting updates that we have coming to the Ultimate Fit Experience UI this summer. Going to give you a little behind the scenes information on what's coming and tell you why we're excited about it and how we think it's really going to add a lot of value to the experience that you can deliver in your store for your customers. In addition, I want to take a few minutes to talk through some of the details around the Red Wing Shaped by Superfeet Orthotic Footbed product line that are in your stores right now, give you some maybe best practices, tips, and tricks on how to maximize each of these insoles in your store so that you are just as confident recommending one side of the product line as you are the other. So to get started, let's talk a little bit about the updates that are coming to the user experience for the Ultimate Fit experience. So really this foundational element is we're trying to upgrade and elevate the importance and value that pressure can deliver both for you as the fitter when you're working with your customer as well as to the customer themselves. And so we're really focused on doing that a couple of ways. One of those is making the pressure summary screen more valuable to you as well as adding more context for the consumer. And so when you look at the current 3D scan summary screen as an example from the Volumental scanner, you've got a great visual representation of that 3D image of the foot. And then on the side of the screen, you have those tiles that add context for the different dimensions of that foot and how that foot compares to the larger population. We're going to be doing the same type of thing for the pressure screen. So you already have that great visualization of that pressure heat map. You can see where those areas of higher and lower pressure are, but that image is relative to each individual person. So on the side of the screen now, on the right side of the screen, we're going to be able to deliver pressure tiles. And so they're going to highlight some individual areas in the heel and in the forefoot of higher pressure or lower pressure or medium pressure, add context to that, and then also be able to help you as well as that customer that you're working with understand how the amount of pressure that they're experiencing compares to that overall population as well. In addition, that summary of the pressure screen will be added to the email that goes out to the consumer after they go through the fit process. So right now that email only contains the 3D scan information. So later this summer, it will combine both. So it will have both the 3D scan as well as that pressure data. So it cements in their minds the value of that pressure, as well as reminding them of kind of those key elements of consideration that you may have presented to them during the fit process. In addition to increasing the visualization and utilization of that pressure, we're also bringing in additional information to insole recommendation as a whole to give you and your customers a more thorough opportunity to recommend insoles based on that individual and their unique needs. So we'll be pulling in more 3D scan variables as well as pressure variables to be able to identify which insole might work best for that person. And so we're really excited to be able to bring the updated both user experience, increased functionality to that insole recommendation, as well as just elevating that overall importance of pressure to the total conversation that you're having with your customers during that Ultimate Fit experience. So next, what I want to do is transition to talking about the Red Wing Shaped by Superfeet product line. And so most of you are probably most familiar and most comfortable with the anti-fatigue insole, and I say that because it is the best-selling insole in the majority of stores, and there's good reason for that. It is a highly cushioned insole. It can fit a wide variety of feet as well. It's a little bit more flexible and forgiving, so it's really ideal for those people that are prioritizing this idea of cushion and flexibility underneath their foot, help them kind of battle fatigue, obviously as the name says, anti-fatigue. And somebody that is really just looking for maybe that underfoot feel, to just be a little bit more cushioned, but still value this idea that Superfeet shape can basically help to redistribute that the forces and the pressure across the bottom of their foot, and hopefully just make them a little bit more comfortable throughout the day. This insole is fabulous for a wide variety of boots and footwear, but because it is a little bit wider and a little bit thicker, there's a wide variety of footwear that it may not fit into as well. And so with that in mind, that's a great way to compare it to, say, something like the Slim Fit insole. So this insole does a really great job of excelling in tighter fitting footwear. So whether that is just the overall footwear or the boot itself fits more tightly, there's just less room inside of that boot, or maybe the foot itself just takes up more room. One of the biggest reasons that you might consider this is for a piece of footwear or a boot that does not have a removable sock liner. So a great example would be a Western pull-on like this, where we know that this transition point of pulling the boot on, this is always this hardest area to get the foot past this area. And with no sock liner to take out, adding much height to the inside of the boot can make that really challenging, and that's where something like this product can really excel. It is a little bit more flexible, and so as you may push your foot past that transition point, you might get a little bit of flex in the shape, but then it bounces right back underneath the foot where it's supposed to be to deliver that kind of all-day support and comfort in a wide variety of tighter fitting boots or boots that don't have that removable sock liner. This can also be a great pairing with things like Heritage, or even something that is a little bit more extreme footwear condition, like a logging boot where the heel is significantly elevated. Because this cap is a little bit more flexible, it can do a great job accommodating for that as well. The next insole I want to highlight is the heavy duty. So we have both a women's heavy duty and a regular heavy duty. And a couple of things about this insole. Earlier when I was talking about anti-fatigue, I mentioned it can be ideal for that person that really wants to feel a little bit more cushioned or flexibility in their insole. This insole is maybe a little bit on the other side of that spectrum. So for somebody that is really looking for that feeling of support and stability underneath their foot, that's what these two insoles are fabulous at delivering. So a couple different reasons for that. One of those is going to be it has a very deep heel cup. That heel cup is structured like all Superfeet products are, but also it accompanies a higher arch profile. When you look at the bottom design of this cap, there's also a reinforcement that goes around the outer perimeter, and that really adds to that feeling of stability. Regardless of the boot or the shoe that they might be in, this insole will do a fabulous job of delivering that supportive, heavy-duty supportive feel, as well as some added cushion in the forefoot. So on the women's side, what makes this an insole a little bit more catered to a woman that you might be working with is a couple things. One of those, all the features I just identified here directly compare to this insole. However, we know with women's footwear, it's starting at a significantly narrow width than the average male footwear. This insole will do a fabulous job of being able to accommodate that more narrow width. In addition, the average female foot has some slightly different dimensions than the average male foot. This also accommodates that. So this can be an easy go-to for a wide variety of female customers that you might be working with, and the boots that they may be looking to put underneath their feet. And finally, let's wrap up talking about the multi-purpose products. So Multi-Purpose Pro is a great insole for kind of those medium fits that you have, where there's maybe not a ton of room in the boot or the shoe, or maybe the foot itself is just taking up a little bit more room. So coming in at about 4 millimeters thick in the forefoot, it can do a really nice job of fitting into some of maybe the more athletic inspired footwear that have a sock liner that's a little bit thinner than some of the more traditional boots. It can also do a great job accommodating for something that has a little bit more narrow or sculpted waist. So when we look at some of these more athletic inspired shoes and boots, they are definitely going to have a waist overall that's a bit more narrow in comparison to what we're working with something like a king toe. And so because of that, this insole can do a great job of both fitting in that lower profile shoe or boot, as well as being able to accommodate a wide variety of foot types, but still be able to deliver that kind of legendary Superfeet shape and support. When we look at multi-purpose elite, what we have here is really this ideal blending of cushion and support. So here what we have is a carbon fiber reinforced cap. So what that means is that we get a lot of strength out of this cap, a lot of support, but it doesn't have to be thick in order to do that. So we use a proprietary polymer, and what it allows us to do is take out some of the bulk of needing to reinforce this insole while still giving it that shape and support, kind of providing support in all the places that you need it and not where you don't. Going to feature a deep heel cup, a really nice arch profile that can accommodate a wide variety of feet, but also the secondary layer underneath here is Poron. So we know it's going to be a long-lasting, highly cushioned feel, but then has a carrier foam on the bottom that is going to provide that durability to that both support as well as cushion feel. So again, really delivering a broad spectrum of experience based on both the thickness of the insole, allowing you, the fitter, to have kind of ultimate control on how you can help your customer fine-tune the fit of their boot, as well as based on the overall feel. So being able to provide some orthotic footbeds that are more cushioned and flexible, and others that are more stable and supportive, and really providing that spectrum. And that is one of the things that really makes Superfeet unique in the way that we're able to deliver shape. So thank you for giving me this time. I really appreciate it, and we are excited about our continued partnership with Red Wing and everything that that's going to mean to the future.